like, is it a judgment call for the refs then? You know, like it used to be, like in the grass, or do you get it has to be within a yard?
Their judgment calls have been crap this year. So.
Grounding, at least over the last 2 years, feels like it's always been a judgment call where they're like, well, was he out of the tackle box or not? Was there a receiver in there?
Elephant in the room, Vikings, Sam Darnold. Are they divorcing? The only real news I was seeing, Texans released Deontay Johnson. He was only there for like 2 weeks.
What's up with him?
There must be just
there's some.
It must just be like
cancer in the locker room or something. Just
what I understand is that at somewhere in Mayo's contract was a guarantee that he was going to become the next head coach, and in some legal, non-legal language or whatever.
Get laced up.
Let's go.
It's time for Banter with the boys.
Yo, yo, yo. Welcome back to Banter with the Boys. Gridiron updates, divisional weekend. Yeah, I'm down and out of it. Vikings are done. Chargers are done. I was going to call in sick today, but here I am. So we also have Rob here with us, of course.
and I'm just as sad as you too. It's
He was
been
going
a
to
tough
call in
one.
sick. We were going to play hooky together, but
We're just gonna move on to the draft.
yeah, the draft and what the Vikings offseason looks like,
we
which
need-
is also going to be either a home run or not. So, D'Angelo, welcome back, our resident Lions
Nice to be
fan.
back, man.
Still in the playoffs, the Lions.
Yeah. A little bye-week action, resting up the boys. Montgomery will be back next week. I'm
You
excited.
ready? You feel rested?
Oh, yeah,
and everything?
definitely, yeah.
You know,
I feel like I honestly would have taken the Bucks to play this weekend over the Commanders because, oh my, I got Jaden. He's in his bag right now.
he might give you a little issues.
Yeah, and Terry, Scary Terry too. So it'll be a good game though. We'll win.
All right.
Because that offense will be different. We'll get into it. We'll get
definitely.
into it.
Yeah, definitely.
Jake, to my Larry, left, whatever. Jake, told you I'm out of it. Screw this.
Man.
But I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Jake, what's going on? A resident Ravens fan.
Yeah, I'm glad to be back. Rip Vikings.
Yeah, rip. I got my flag. As you can see, is it upside down even?
No,
but just
it should be
it's
in
just
distress,
backwards.
yeah.
Well, it's just disappointing.
It is. But
your
the other purple
Ravens
team over
are
here
doing
is-
well.
Yeah, they looked really good against the Steelers. We'll definitely talk about that and have a really good matchup against the Bills coming up on Sunday.
Really good matchup.
Shout out MVPs, huh?
Yeah.
Ooh, that might be the game for MVP.
For sure.
But I thought they don't take playoffs into consideration
No,
when
I
they
think
pick
they
everyone.
will.
They say
They
that,
will.
but
Well,
Yeah,
that's
they
true.
say
They
that.
say that.
Yeah,
but
they say that.
we all know the shield is going to shield, right?
Yeah,
for sure.
So, all right. And obviously, don't forget Kev behind the screen there, making everything happen for us.
Welcome back,
like
Kev.
always.
We
Yeah,
miss
welcome
you.
back,
Guy.
Kev. Just getting back from vacay. So, yeah. Somewhere tan. Actually, we did mention it last week how tan he was.
yeah.
Now he's no longer as tan because it's -4 today. So
Cold
that
as a heart.
automatically, if you're tan at all in Minnesota and it's -4, you immediately lose the tan. Anyway,
for sure.
Anyway, let's just move on. That's right. Let's get to these game recaps, Kev, just like that. And our game recaps. Reminder that the 2 number 1 seeds, the Chiefs and the Detroit Lions, excuse me, both those names for some reason get me, had the byes. So the first game of the week, poor Chargers, traveling to the Houston Texans, where actually I believe most of the Banner crew, other than 2 people, took the Chargers. By the way, you never got me your picks.
Who would you have picked?
Dude. I had the Texans on my parlay.
Of course you
for
did.
sure.
Well, you see here. Yeah, he went 5-0 last week.
Yeah, no, for sure.
But yeah, no. Obviously, I thought the Chargers would at least show up a little bit more, but it just got away from them late in the game there. The picks from Herbert, I mean, just I don't understand. Trying to force too much.
Yeah, Texans defense, they didn't establish a running game really at all, so they just pinned their ears back and just got after them. And a couple tip balls. I wouldn't say all of the picks were Herbert's fault, but
Yeah, 2 went through receivers' hands.
yeah, so,
for sure.
It's unfortunate.
But I still feel like the Texans had that game even with a little bit of our play.
But that was the Texans defense that we saw like mid to late season that like, you figured would carry the Texans through the playoffs, and then they kind of stumbled there a little bit towards the end of the season. That's what made me choose the Chargers. Yeah, I was going to be biased too, but like
It's true.
I was nervous about whether or not that defense would actually show up, and now it's like, okay, now that Texans Chiefs game is interesting.
Yeah.
That's not a given now for the Chiefs. So, just all in all, bad
first
showing
year,
for the Chargers.
first year out of Harbaugh,
Oh, for sure. And he got him back in the playoffs.
Exactly.
Yep.
So
Hats off to him.
they just need a running back, and I think that team will, their defense is pretty solid. They got some nice cornerstones on there with Mack and Bosa on the side, and James in the back.
Max considering retirement.
Yeah.
Came out today.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh.
But of course, like you said, who knows? Like, right? Like, it could be a couple months. Like, we're sad about possibly Harrison Smith of the Vikes, right? But who knows? 2-3 months from now, your body's healed up a little bit. You're like, you know what? Yeah, maybe one more year.
Yeah, I'd like to. I don't need to hear bad news 2 days in a row.
Yeah, I know. But no, you're right. And the funny part is we kept saying like how Dobbins, like they got to have Dobbins to fix this offense. They got to have him. And they just they had him.
Yeah,
it didn't make a difference this week.
I don't think he was fully healthy back from that.
Probably
last
not.
injury,
Probably
too,
pushing it.
He was like, I'm going to play even if I'm at 80%.
And they still ran Gus Edwards 7 times. So,
Exactly. So that kind of shows you that he wasn't fully back.
Well, the Texans had Al-Shaair finally back from that suspension.
The suspension.
Yeah.
He makes a big difference.
Yeah,
for sure.
Adds
He
a
definitely does.
bunch of speed and toughness to that defense.
Yeah.
And then obviously the 2 pass rushers. It's just the defense is actually scary.
Yeah.
So good luck, Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, Mix ran for 100. Nico had over a hundo. Those are the 2 guys. If they get rolling in that Texas defense, watch out, Chiefs fans.
Yeah, no doubt. Possible upset lurking. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. All right, next game. We got. This is Jake's game. The Steelers traveling to Baltimore. The Steelers almost sneaking away with this, right?
No, they definitely met a freight train of running back. Well, really of Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Just steamrolled them. But yeah, the Steelers defense didn't come to play, giving up almost 300 yards.
Yeah, that was
on
terrible.
the
TJ
ground.
Watt, 0 stats.
Zero stats.
Correct.
That's right.
Wow, he didn't record anything?
Not
Not even an assist, huh?
And he's a game changer.
yeah, no, he is.
Like,
though.
yeah, no.
Oh,
Here, let me
man.
confirm because it's right in front of me.
Yeah, there was.
Nowhere.
I think there were some concerns or questions about how the Ravens' offense was going to change or work without Zay Flowers playing, and the rest of both the tight ends, so likely Andrews, Bateman,
schema.
Yeah.
yeah, they all showed up, and Lamar got the ball around. So 7 different receivers catching the ball, and then you just give it to Derrick Henry and let him go to town.
And you're still letting Lamar run for another 81 yards himself.
Exactly.
I think he ran it a little too many times, 15 carries, because one of those tackles, he got a knee in the back, and he was definitely favoring his back for a while during the rest of that game. But I think he'll be good. But definitely, again, looking forward to going to Buffalo, facing the Bills. I think it's going to be cold and physical, and it's going to be a great game.
All right. Typical AFC North matchup.
Yeah.
Who else? Vikings play next year, FYI.
Yeah, great. Awesome. a great division. A great division. I
Might as
mean,
well get all the bad news out of the way.
yeah.
Harrison Smith's retiring.
Right.
Yeah, Vikings play AFC North and then NFC West. Like, oh
East,
my God.
yeah.
East, yeah, that's what I meant. Thank you.
Yeah, that game I predicted was 31-10. I thought it was gonna be a blowout. It was 21-0 at half.
Yeah.
And Steelers couldn't establish any running game, and then you just putting it on Russell Wilson. That's not a success.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
the Ravens
Najee will be
responding
gone.
back right away after they gave up, after the Steelers got their first touchdown with their own fast. It was 6 plays, and they just ran down the field. So they were there and ready for it.
No, the Baltimore Ravens are so overpowered right now. I mean, it's going to be so tough to stop them.
Yeah,
And
I agree.
Again, we'll touch on those games. We can dive into those matchups because they're going to be so crazy this weekend. But yeah, Ravens getting the dub. Russell Wilson, though, for the Steelers does say he wants to return. Is that something Pittsburgh should entertain, or should they just give it to Fields? Or come get Sam Darnold. I mean, he might be available.
That is true.
Yeah. I don't think if I'm. Or do they get rid of Mike? I've been hearing some talks about that.
Mike Tomlin?
Yeah.
I don't want to hear
think
that.
that's-
I don't want to hear that.
start.
Yeah.
Mike Tomlin came out, I think it was either today or yesterday, and came out and pretty much said, like, don't even waste your time. Like,
Yeah.
if you want to even approach about that,
Yeah.
like, don't even waste your time. Like, so, no, I don't.
I mean, the guy's never had a losing season, and
Yeah, no,
and
that's
Steelers
insane.
typically don't move from coaches very fast. And,
Yeah.
Yep.
And one bad exit, like, I don't know, did anyone really think the Steelers were going to do much this year?
Absolutely not. Not with
So-
Russell Wilson
and they
and
made the
Justin
playoffs.
Fields.
So I don't get
In
it
a
as
tough
Steelers-
division.
in a very So
Very tough competitive division.
I think they overperformed this year. So I almost, as a Steelers fan, I'd be like, oh, Tomlin still's got it.
Yeah, no, he's definitely still that guy. I feel like if anything, if they were to part ways, it'd be like a mutual agreement. Like, hey, he'd probably come to them before they come to him, trying to get rid of him. So it'll be like he'll step back.
For Tomlin?
Yeah, for sure.
I just couldn't imagine him going anywhere else.
No, I don't either.
So
Yeah.
I don't think he's
I don't
done
either.
with football.
I don't either.
So
No chance.
Should if Pittsburgh were to keep Russell Wilson like another 1-year deal or whatever and still have Fields, like if they just get a solid running back, I don't know who that would be, but somebody other than Najee Harris, is that enough to elevate that offense to be able to compete in this game?
I feel like they need another wideout too.
yeah,
Oh,
I
for
think-
sure.
Yeah, Pickens can't
and
do
an
it all
offensive
himself.
line.
Yeah, their offensive
Yeah,
line.
that's
So it's
Yeah,
way
like-
more than
yeah.
just the running game.
Yeah,
No, no,
exactly.
yeah,
and
for
I don't
sure.
think there's a free agent.
Do
out
they
there
keep
that's gonna be
Najee
like,
Harris?
Wow,
Do
you
they
know?
keep Najee
No.
Harris? 'Cause
No,
I
I'm
think,
shipping him
I think
off.
this is his last
I'm
year.
shipping him off.
I think he's gone.
He's
Yep, you
gone.
let Najee walk. You keep Warren because he's
he's
a
a
spark
stud.
plug for that
Yeah.
offense, and you got to find yourself a new hammer.
New hammer.
I
Fair
agree.
enough.
Najee got his chance.
Oh, for sure.
you know.
Yeah, for sure. He got his chance. So, with that, again, Ravens getting the win, 28-14, and they go on to play the Bills this week. Good luck.
Circle the wagons.
Yeah, right. Broncos, we do not need to spend a ton of time on this game, but we'll talk about it. Broncos
Spanking.
traveling to Buffalo, and that's about all they did was travel there.
Travel, literally.
Bo Nix really didn't look that bad. There was some ups and downs, but he came out and said, like, after the game, like, how promising. They lost 31-7, by the way. Didn't say that, but he came out and said, like, how promising, and, like, the Broncos are trending upward, and they feel like they're disappointed, sure, but I think they're happy they made the playoffs, and they feel confident about starting next season, 0-0 and getting a fresh slate.
I mean, I would totally agree with that. I mean, Bo Nix, what they draft him at 16-ish? So they,
yeah,
were,
it was like
they were middle of the
I thought it
pack.
was like 12 or
6.
13.
No, there was.
No, they didn't. He was after.
got up to
No.
6.
Was he 12 then? Was he the last quarterback?
Yeah, he was
taken?
after.
Yeah, he
JJ.
was after McCarthy.
Okay.
Yeah, he was 12.
Because
He's
they,
12. He was
because
they
12.
traded
there were
up
6 and 12.
to
There were
get
six,
to him.
6 quarterbacks.
Yeah, because
in the
they
first
thought,
12.
because Sean Payton thought he pulled a fast one on the Vikings.
Yeah.
And blah, blah, blah. And
Yeah.
after they took JJ, he's like, oh, no.
I mean, they
Yeah.
got some good cornerstones. They got some decent receivers. They still,
Definitely.
like their
Quillen's
defense
son.
is solid. I mean, the score was 10-7 at half,
Yep.
so it
For
wasn't
sure.
like
Yeah.
it was
Exactly.
a total blowout. Just then you saw Buffalo's experience and Josh Allen just take over in the second half, and then
James Cook.
Bo Nix had to press a little bit. It's playoffs and kind of the hometown team in the cold weather really got to him.
Yeah, I think it continued the story of just like how important the running game was this weekend.
Oh yeah.
Because James Cook had 120 yards rushing, and the Broncos couldn't get anything going.
Yeah, they
on
had
the ground.
79 yards.
Yeah,
So
Yeah, and as far as the other side of things go, yeah, Bills just controlled for most of the game. I mean, yeah, 10-7 at half, but I mean, they put their foot on the gas pedal in the second half and didn't take it off.
Yep.
I mean, just everything was going their way. So shaping up for, like we said, they play the Ravens, shaping up for just a crazy, probably the game of the week, I would imagine, if there is one in playoffs. I mean, every game's game of the week
Yeah,
pretty
yeah,
much
that-
in playoffs, but like I think that one is probably, like, if we had to pick one,
Yeah.
I don't know,
I would say
Chiefs
that's
Texans would be
the
good
cream
too,
of the
but
crop.
Most electrifying, I would say. You got, once again, we got two.
like you said, MVP
candidates.
versus MVP
Yeah,
pretty
Yep.
much. Yeah.
exactly. So,
Yeah, like I said, we don't need to spend a ton of time on this one. We know what happened here, but just experience, really, like you stated. But hey, I think the Broncos could come back next year. Probably still a wild card behind the Chiefs. Chargers, who knows right now? But they need some work too. But
you never know. It's like that's how the NFL schedule really works now. They're going to play the second place team record schedule next year.
True.
So
True.
like all these non-playoff teams, like the Commanders, who totally just flip their season, or the Chargers,
they're going to play a different.
They're going to play a little different, because that's one of the things we were talking about. The Chargers, they didn't play anybody for the first 12 games, and all their losses were against good teams. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no doubt. Bills getting the dub, 31-7 in Buffalo, and they got at least one more home game. So we'll talk about that in a minute. The next 3 games that we have to talk about real quick, honestly, it's all about quarterback play, almost. But I think that's the main reason that made the difference, honestly, in these next 3, starting with the Packers traveling to Philadelphia. For me, that's just Jordan Love didn't look crisp at all.
No, he didn't. He looked stressed. Like he didn't find no rhythm. I mean, they just weren't.
Christian Watson.
Yeah,
that seemed to make a huge difference.
A lot of dudes got banged up too, for sure. I mean,
Reed got him.
Yeah, Jaden Reed went down. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, I knew that game was gonna be a walk in the park for the Eagles. They're hungry too. I would say that's if I'm the Lions, I'm definitely watching out for the Eagles. I mean, they got the full shebang over there on offense, running back, wideouts, you name it. Hurts.
That would be a fun rushing battle, Lions versus the Eagles for the NFC Championship.
That would be dope.
Did you all feel like Jalen Hurts was back? Or do you still feel like he's still, like that's going into next week? I didn't feel like he played.
I think it's
He
questionable.
played like a B game.
Yeah,
I feel like he didn't need to though.
But I feel like that's a discussion about Jalen Hurts all the time.
No, it is. I mean,
the game ended up being
for sure.
close though, because the Packers were only down by 6.
Yeah.
In the 4th, and so they
screwed the pooch. But.
Yeah, but they had a chance.
Mm-hmm.
So you would need a better performance out of Jalen. Saquon could have done more, but I mean Saquon still did his job. I don't want to hear about all of the people being like, "Oh, Saquon shouldn't have slid and not scored that." touchdown.
I think that's the smartest move he could have done.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, for sure.
You're looking for the W.
Yeah, no, I think that's the smartest move he could have done. But even last season, I felt this way about Jalen Hurts. Last season and almost this entire season. But then back on what you said, he's only doing enough, that he has to.
Exactly.
He doesn't need to.
He doesn't need to go above.
So it's. I don't know. It's tough, but it just feels like it's been that way for the last 2 seasons for me. So maybe this is just what we're gonna get. Maybe this is just what Jalen Hurts is, and
can't expect too much. But
he still gets his team's still getting deep into the playoffs, though.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
So,
Well, he doesn't make dumb mistakes. That's how I think,
That's
really.
smart
When he plays his worst, he's going to be below 60% passing most of the time. He might get some big, long, yardage plays, and then he'll hit a run or 2 there when you're like, that's really nice. That gets you that first down. But then, there's a few of those plays later in the season where he's got to fit it between a gap and that he doesn't do and throws that pick, I feel like when you get man to man, he succeeds really well, and a running game always helps too.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure.
Definitely.
And when it's Saquon, that's gonna get you ahead. So, Eagles getting the dub, 22-10 over the Packers. Closing thoughts on the Packers, I guess, for me is just, I don't know. It's a good thing they signed Jordan Love to that prove it deal, because he's got to keep proving it next season.
True, but
he got injured this year. So that's going to
game.
throw you off. But it wasn't a good showing.
Yeah. Jacob's most of their teams going to be back. Jacob's going to be back. All those young receivers are probably going to be back.
Hopefully Watson's back.
So I don't think the Packers are dead in the water.
I don't think they're dead in the water, but I think they're a little nervous, like a couple of these other teams we're about to talk about their quarterback play when it comes down to crunch time. You know what I mean? So that matters.
It always matters.
So, and it was just so bad to me. I don't know. It just stands out. But again, these next 3 games, there's quarterback play that stand out. So whatever. Next game. Who do we got? Commanders.
Game of the week.
Commanders at the Bucks. Poor Baker, but awesome for Jaden Daniels. I mean, he just lit it up. He's so. When you said electric about somebody else earlier tonight, I mean that's Jaden Daniels too. He's a game changer.
And he was so calm and composed.
He was
entire
composed.
game.
Yeah, you didn't see him lash out after a bad play. Like even on that 4th down play when he was it Terry that scored that?
Scary Terry.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
He was composed, like sat back in the pocket, pressure
Found
was
his
coming,
man.
found
Let him
the
rip.
man, and then you gotta let your playmakers make big plays too, because Terry, that's their playmaker in the wideout position.
He did look super comfortable. It's kind of like we were talking before we recorded, like how comfortable Lamar Jackson was looking this week, and he looked very Lamar Jackson-esque this week.
Yeah.
Yes.
Quiet feet, totally unlike Sam Darnold, but quiet feet, feeling the pressure. It's just like that sense that's almost not coachable. It's like you either have or you don't.
Yep.
And the dude is just different. Whether or not the Commanders win next week or not, I don't think it matters. Like their season is a success.
Yeah.
Oh, easy. Easy.
And who knows? They could make a run at that division next year.
They
'Cause who
definitely
knows
can.
if the Eagles can repeat what they're doing, Even though they should have most people returning too, I believe. But
Yeah. And I think the Redskins are going to be the team that stacks like the Texans did this year.
Commanders.
Commanders. Commanders.
Right, Commanders.
Well,
How old are you,
you've
Rob?
been around for a while.
Yeah, true story. Let's not,
Let's move on.
But yeah, they have a ton of money, available for
sure
picking
they
up
do.
those free agents, just like Texans did. So I could see them making a ton of moves this year to solidify that team and start making a run like they tried to do with, CJ Stroud this year.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy how well that defense has bounced back 2 years removed from getting rid of Chase Young and Montez Sweat. Thinking like, oh, that's a bad idea. You know what I mean? If you're trying to build something, but they've done it, and it's just fun to watch. And now they, able to get the win on a field goal. Did you see how nervous Zane Gonzalez was?
No.
So
Or is it?
Yes,
or
there's a
does he
reason.
have like a
No,
ticket
no,
or
no,
something?
no,
Yeah.
no, so-
dude,
no,
he
so
was
there's-
like,
no.
just
So
like,
yes,
trying to put his helmet on, then
That's
not, then yes, then
so
not.
actually, a lot of people were questioning that, and I get it. Like my brother-in-law,
Probably nerves,
Yeah,
OCD.
For sure.
Yeah, he's diagnosed with OCD.
Sure,
so
sure.
it's legit. And we were because we didn't know any better at the time. Like, why does he just keep like fixing his hair and trying to put on something like it's hair?
Probably feels
whatever.
like he didn't do it yet, and it's like a,
And then also they had cut at some point where he had actually, as they were driving, he had his kicking shoe off and he was fixing his sock and trying to get it to feel right, and then putting his shoe back on. So,
Oh wow.
yeah,
Banked it in.
Hey, man.
yeah.
Hey, and that's what
banked it in.
I know people want to get down on kickers all the time, but dude, there's some real
no, that's a
pressure
lot of
packed
pressure,
moments
dude.
for them, dude. And if you're not, you're not in
for
that
that,
moment
yeah.
every single week, like a quarterback or receiver potentially, or even an edge rusher or something, right?
Exactly.
But so when you're just thrown into there like that, I can't imagine, and the whole weight of the team, the season,
Second
the
most-
city, if it's like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, second most important player on the team, and
I-
they don't
yeah,
get, and
I
they don't
can
get
agree.
paid like it.
Yeah, they definitely
right.
don't.
Ask Adam
When
Vinatieri.
they should.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Millions.
Is
off
he
it.
still the?
No, he's been
No,
gone
yeah,
for
he's
a while.
long gone.
No. I know he's not in the league. No.
Oh, okay.
Is he still? Was he the points leader
For
in the NFL
kickers.
all time? Was it
he
Vinatieri
should
or
be.
was it
Oh, man, we're gonna
all-time
have to-
points leader in NFL? I thought it was Vinatieri. I could be wrong, but
I thought someone beat him lately.
that's what I mean, though. I feel
Really?
like somebody did beat him. I don't know who it would have been.
Google machine.
Unless it was Justin Tucker.
It's Adam Vinatieri still.
It is
Is it?
Vinatieri.
Yep.
Okay, who's the second?
Morton Anderson,
Ooh, the old saint.
and then Gary Anderson.
Nah,
Gary,
Gary.
his cousin.
Let's not talk about Gary.
Sources.
He wasn't good at the game winners.
I was only three.
Sore topic for Vikings fans.
That's so funny.
Yeah. I was only 3 when Gary missed that.
Yeah.
So that's just generational hurt, is what we call that.
At least that game was competitive.
Yeah, right. Oh, God. Anyway, what were we talking about? Oh, Commanders Bucks. Yeah, Commanders getting the dub 23-20 on the Zane Gonzalez kick. That was pretty awesome. Doinked it in, but hey, made it.
Wins
So,
the win, baby.
They get to travel and play your boys. So I can't wait to talk about that. We'll get there.
Man, I can't
Let's hurry up
believe
with
it.
this because this last one doesn't really need to be talked about. But
Well, wait, hold on. You don't want to talk about Baker Mayfield's fumble?
I do
yeah, that was
actually. I
huge.
do actually
Yeah.
because he does feel super bad about that. As he should, I think. Like, I mean, it is kind of on him, but
Yeah.
I mean, he still played a good game.
Yeah, he
you
did.
know?
He did.
So
He didn't make too
Yeah,
many
the-
mistakes.
Yeah, the fumble was like the only thing that I'd knock on him.
and right now with the way that the NFC South is, I mean, yeah, Atlanta's there, so
Yeah.
Atlanta will have a full season of Michael Penix.
Penix,
So we
yeah.
don't know what that's going to give you. Carolina not ready yet, probably in New Orleans. Who knows? Right now in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Think Mike Evans comes back
Yes.
Why would he not?
yeah,
Might as
yeah.
well.
just to break Jerry Rice's record for
For most consecutive years
1,000
of
year-
the yeah.
Might as
Yeah.
well.
He lit up Marcus Lattimore.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he literally
Yeah.
exposed
It wasn't
him.
even really a contest
No,
this time.
because like every other time they've matched up, Lattimore's always won, and they're just like, oh man, he's got you this time.
yeah.
Yeah, he seemed beat up though. Lattimore, I felt like he wasn't 100%, and you could just tell the way he was just overly aggressive on some plays with Mike Evans, like with
But
the
this is,
penalties.
Lattimore likes playing that way too, though.
Yeah, but I mean, dude, it's the playoffs. Like you gotta
sure,
just
you gotta be
you gotta
able to
man up
clean
and
it up a
just
little bit.
play ball. Yeah,
Yeah,
don't.
yeah, right,
He was he definitely got in Lattimore's head. They put the man on him. They was like, your best man against mine. So we're gonna see who's gonna win. And
Mike Evans 7
he ran
targets,
away
7
with it.
receptions. What
Yeah,
you
buddy.
do? You know what I mean?
It's a Hall of Famer, man.
So yeah, Commanders getting the win.
So before,
Yeah, what?
I was feeling really good. All right, here I was 5-0 going into this last game.
Yeah.
I'd rather be 1-5 right now, to be honest.
Yeah, if it meant that they won. Yeah. So the Vikes traveling to Phoenix to play the LA Rams after the game was moved. A lot of Vikings fans there, actually. But they're going to go ahead and get the L.
Yes.
27-9 to the Rams. Now, before we even talk about the Vikings and their woes, and I don't even know where to start, but all credit to the Rams. Man, their defense played outstanding.
Oh,
Yes,
for sure.
Sam Darnold held onto the ball way too freaking long
Yeah.
on a lot of plays. But, like, that defense is super young, and when there was rumors, like, I think it was last season that Sean McVay could retire or maybe be done. Well, now he's
Go to
got
TV.
yeah, you go to TV or something. Well, now he's got this young defense that you can mold and have with you. You still got a veteran quarterback that knows exactly what he's doing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that
Puka?
no, the fumble play.
Oh,
That's just a veteran quarterback
That move,
knowing
yeah,
the
he's
rule book
smart.
to a
Yep.
T. You
Literally.
know, like
which
I
needs to
was
be
amped,
changed.
right? We scored a touchdown. Woohoo! Got
Yeah.
called back. They showed the replay, and I'm like,
Yeah, when I see
son
the
of a gun.
replay,
That's
yeah,
right, though.
that was-
Like,
yeah,
because you can
Yep.
flick it forward. Like
You
that's
can,
a pass. You know,
And
like,
the cool was right
it's
there,
annoying
so, yeah.
because it doesn't look like he really came that forward with it.
But-
However,
So-
It's all about
by
the motion.
rule, it makes sense.
But he was tied up and his head was down. Like, hold
Yeah.
on.
for sure,
Yeah, exactly.
No, I agree.
So like the letter of the law suggests absolutely like it was an incomplete pass, whatever. But like I think the spirit in that instance, Stafford was trying to just get rid of the ball.
100%.
Yeah.
He wasn't
Ouch.
trying to.
He wasn't trying to
complete a
take that
pass.
sack.
So how
Yeah.
do we change that?
You got to get in the brains, put chips in there, so you
Yep.
know if he's trying to complete a pass or not. Then we'll know.
Okay, Elon. But it's like, is it a judgment call for the refs then? Like it used to be, like in the grasp, or do you get it has to be within a yard?
Their judgment calls have been crap
grounding
this
is
year.
grounding, at least over the last 2 years, feels like it's always been a judgment call where they're like, well, was he out of the tackle box or not? Was
Yeah.
there a receiver in there? And they're talking about it, and then they throw the flag. So why would that not be any different in this?
Well, they
instance?
they didn't throw a flag on that play.
Right, they didn't.
Correct.
But I'm saying in other instances where it's like, well, everyone that's watching is like, why the heck was that not grounding? You see him talking, and then like 2 seconds later, they throw the flag and call the grounding.
Yeah.
Well,
But they initially called it a fumble
Fumble.
on the field.
fumble, touchdown.
Yeah,
So that's why they didn't have a conversation.
That's why they
whether-
didn't throw the flag.
Because
Yeah.
they
and then the replay can't throw the flag. So then it's
Exactly.
like, Vikes just got screwed over. But it is what it is. You know what I mean? There's way more than that happened that lost the game for the Vikes, but that sucked.
And then Harry Henderson, we got to talk about him for half. Hall of Famer. He is one of 4.
Harry Henderson. Harrison Smith is who he's talking about.
Yeah.
Wait, you're not talking about the Sasquatch?
Yeah.
Right.
He kind of plays like one sometimes.
Could have been Hitman's last game.
Finished the one of 4 safeties, that are all in the Hall of Fame with the same numbers: 1,000 tackles, 30 interceptions, and 20 sacks. So I think.
Oh, really?
Canton is. He's.
You think it's a lock for
It's
Harrison?
pretty much a lock. Just looking at some of the statistics, he's in the top
should
10
be.
of almost, and all those guys are on
And
the
in the
HOF.
day and age of like everybody saying like, oh, everybody gets in Hall of Fame type deal. MLB for sure is known for it right now,
Yeah.
really bad. But like if he's got the same stats as guys back then, like he's
he's
doing
in
it
a
at a high
elite
level.
club that with the all of them are in the HOF right now. So yeah,
So then, do you think he's first ballot?
It might give him.
Dude, it
second.
depends who
Yeah,
else is on the
'cause-
ballot.
'cause-
Who else is on the ballot? I
Because
mean,
personally,
him and Aaron Rodgers will be on the ballot for this year.
because like
well,
personally,
Aaron's got to have a stint in Minnesota.
because just like watching Harrison Smith as a half Packer fan living in Minnesota, see a lot of them.
Half-Packer fan, yeah,
Yeah.
right. He's going to trade that out for the Vikings, though.
I think he's Hall of really good.
Okay,
Like
I think your take is Hall bad.
yeah, I just like he's
You saying I'm being a homer is what you're saying?
possibly.
Okay.
I don't think he's that big of a game changer as far as like safeties go.
Man, this season he was. He got the game sealing pick like 3-4 games, I think, this year.
Yeah.
A couple of them were just like fly
No,
balls.
I mean I'm a little biased
a little
because
Hail
I
Mary
got
action,
I got
right.
umpteen years of Ed Reed, who's
Sure.
arguably
Who-
greatest safety ever.
Yeah.
Arguably.
Or Butler as a Packers fan. But he has better stats than Butler. Would you say Butler? He's HOF. Was he game changer?
No, he wasn't.
But he's HOF.
You know,
But I would say Ed Reed is a game changer.
The NFL probably was like, he needs to get in because he did the Lambeau Leap thing, whatever.
Oh.
So that's my
Back
other
to the
non-half
script.
Packer fan.
Back to this. Yeah.
So
This half Packer fan, non-half Packer thing, turn on and off switch.
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
Screwing me up.
But I can see it as what you're saying as outside looking in. Did he have the big? Was he Dion? Was he
Yeah.
Charles Woodson? Was he the
was he
or
like,
Ed Reed?
that's the guy that I have to be worried about
Yeah.
every single play?
lot?
No. A lot of times, sure. Like,
Well, you talked to Aaron Rodgers. He was like he would probably disagree with your take.
Well, Jake's also not Aaron Rodgers, but I would agree with that.
I mean, Aaron, you would have the highest regard of playing against. If he always talked about he has to know where 22 is on the field at all times.
Yeah.
Which is true. But when you play him twice a year, it's different in division too, for sure.
Yeah. But
All right. I mean, elephant in the room. Enough Harry talk because he's probably going to be HOF. But I respect to Ed Reed. I do really like Ed Reed. He was a
Yeah, he was a stud.
I would agree.
definition
Ed
of a
Reed had
baller.
a better career than Smith.
Oh, Brian Dawkins.
Oh, another hard hitter,
Yeah.
hard hitting safety. Whoa.
Yeah, he's vicious. Dude.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. Yeah, we could go on a tangent. Okay, elephant in the room. Vikings. Sam Darnold. Are they divorcing? Are they gonna renew
sign
their
and
vows?
Trade is about the only way I see it.
Yeah.
Sign and trade.
Yeah,
Why would you sign that
yeah,
if
why
you're
would-
Darnold? Then why don't
yeah.
you just walk and go find your own
franchise tag him.
But
What?
okay, but
Then
if
trade him.
but okay. Phew, like 3 weeks
Okay.
ago. Yeah, good point, right?
Yeah.
All of that, what I just said right there.
Yeah.
Good point. 3 weeks ago, I would have franchise tagged him for sure and went into next season not trading JJ McCarthy and let Sam Darnold start, and then maybe trade him off if things are looking sour and somebody else needs a QB, whatever. Now that we're at this point, I don't know if I want to franchise tag him because is anybody going to be interested in him
you
at
have
that
that deal figured out
before you franchise
for
tag him?
sure.
wait, you don't pull a stunt like the Jets and trade for Hassan Reddick, thinking, oh, hey, we.
He's
going to
show up for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, tomorrow this time.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. No. Okay. Fair enough.
That's a good point,
so
but
you're
he's the only one
franchising-
that's really ever done it.
But maybe he wants to go find his own deal, and they mutually just like whatever. Like,
Yeah.
I can see that
Part
too.
ways.
I don't know where he'd go. The Giants could use a quarterback like him. Maybe that would let him start even. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Got
San
Malik
Francisco.
Neighbors.
I think San
and
Francisco
San Fran, but San Fran, what's his name? GM Lynch or whatever?
Yeah.
That was his dang name?
Yep.
He came out and said that they want Purdy for a long, long time.
Really?
He has to say that.
yeah.
I
If
wouldn't.
someone asks him, do we want
He
Purdy?
doesn't-
What is he going to say?
You have to say that about Mr. Irrelevant? I don't think so. I don't think you have to
When
say
he's
that.
on, when he's
Especially
your
after
start,
a
when
season
he's,
he had.
when he's your starting quarterback, when he's your current starting quarterback on your
He's
roster.
got 1 year left, or does he need one now? I can't remember. If Purdy's got
has
one
one
more.
more.
He has
I think
one
he has
more.
one more.
Yeah,
Yeah,
one
he's
more.
up for the
You-
So
season.
this is
you have to
extension
say that.
time.
It
This
is extension time.
But yeah, you have to say that.
Yeah, what is he gonna? What else is he
What-
gonna say?
Like he-
But
They
after,
don't have
but
Sam
after,
Darnold yet, but our starting correct.
he's not going to pull like what the Browns did and be like, no, Baker moved, like whatever. Baker Mayfield's not our guy. We're going after Deshaun Watson, and then
how many playoff caliber teams? Arguably, San Fran could still maybe be one next year. I don't know. Arguably, right?
That West is
Arguably,
going to be tough.
arguably, right? Oh yeah, for sure. Because Seahawks really want what's his name? Their head coach really wants Geno Smith back bad too, and his contract's up. So there's an option there too for Sam, but I don't think that would happen. But do you even want Sam if you're a playoff team after seeing arguably the two most pressure-filled games he's ever played in his NFL career the last 2 weeks, and you saw it, and he played exactly the same as the way he played
rookie.
against the Lions
Like a
the
rookie
week
would,
week
yeah.
prior,
Yeah.
just holding on to it way too long. You know, only getting to like his second read when most quarterbacks are already at their fourth or the ball's gone.
Yeah.
But I think it also exposes the Vikings offense a little bit.
100%.
You know,
And
like
they're
there's like the Lions played straight
100%.
man to man, and then the Rams came out and played, and they don't play man to man typically at all.
Yeah.
And they just said, "All right, we saw what the Lions did to you. We're going to do the exact same thing." And I didn't see a ton of separation. I haven't looked at all the 22.
There wasn't, but at some point, separation
give
in the
him a
NFL
chance,
doesn't
yeah.
matter. The windows are so tight, you got to freaking throw the ball.
Yeah, you do.
You got to
You
give
just
him
got-
a chance.
Or you got to have a receiver
Which-
that gets open.
Which he did all year, though. He did.
He did.
Sam Darnold did
did.
take those chances.
He
You know,
did.
when you take chances, you throw some picks. So, you know, he did take those chances throughout the year, and I just didn't see him taking like those downfield chances in the playoffs. Very Kirk Cousins-ish in the playoffs,
Yeah.
where you're not taking the chances downfield.
This dry spell.
So you would rather have the pick than the sack, is what you're saying? The possible pick.
It's like a mini punt. Why not?
Potentially, if it's
if
third
you're-
if it's third
first
down
and-
and you're
first and
I'm
three.
taking a shot
Or second-
downfield
second
100%.
and
It's
three.
like a punt.
We had a bunch of
And now
second
you
and
can
three
pinpoint
sacks.
it.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah,
You know?
it's just like okay, whatever.
Yeah. So parting gift, found interesting. At the end of the season last year, Justin Jefferson endorsed keeping Kirk Cousins as his quarterback. He was asked literally the same question this year, and he had no comment on whether or not. You know, he's like, you know, my job is to be the best at what I do, and you know, whoever comes in here, we're just going to work with that. You know, type deal. And he did not endorse Sam Darnold per se.
Yeah, I think he was very frustrated yesterday.
Yeah, he was.
You know,
He
like,
was.
you
Last 2
know,
weeks.
less is more in that scenario.
For sure. So interesting. Like I said, in a couple weeks on that other show before the Super Bowl, maybe we'll go on a Vikings tangent.
You mean the big game
I'm sorry, the big game, the mixing bowl, yeah.
at the Super Dome?
At the Superdome.
Superdome, baby.
Yeah. With that, Kev, let's head right into our tent talk.
911, what's your emergency?
And to start tent talk, not a lot going on this week. Injuries though, Nakobe Dean was just back for Philly and now is set to miss the rest of the playoffs.
He's a dog.
Yeah, man, just not good to
Jordan's
lose
sad.
him. Deshaun Watson. I'm not trying to laugh at Deshaun Watson's misfortune here, but he went ahead and ruptured his Achilles and could miss all of 2025. Just continue like. God, somebody should write a book about the Browns the last 5 years because I'd probably
literally.
read it. You know, like
Yeah.
just God, I know, like Lions fan. You know, you've had your problems.
Your books. Your books that he's read.
Us Vikings
Books,
fans,
plural.
we've had ours. In my lifetime, the Ravens have always been mostly good. So
Nah,
I don't
Well,
know.
they were the Browns that
Up
they had
and
a few
down.
years.
Yeah, they have up and downs every 12 years.
But like the Browns are just different, man. So like that, and this Deshaun Watson situation just kind of adds to the whole thing. Like, so I have no idea who's going to play quarterback there next year.
Probably your boy.
Probably Sam Darnold.
Probably.
Or Kirk Cousins. which he was about to go to Cleveland anyway before
Kevin?
Atlanta. Yep. So
Back with the old OC.
yeah, there's a
Only
chance.
bad.
There's a chance.
See that angle.
The only real news I was seeing: Texans released Deontay Johnson. He was only there for like 2 weeks.
What's up with him?
There must be just
Yeah, there's some.
it must just
underlying-
be like
Cancer in the
negative,
locker room or
negative,
something? Just
negative or something. I don't know. Yeah, cancer is a good way to put it. It has to be. Otherwise, he's got a good frame, you know. He's got decent hands. I mean, he had the great
14?
year. He had the
14,
great year
yeah.
in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, exactly. No, he
So-
definitely did good.
He's got it in him. It's just, who knows? I don't know. Is it
Yeah,
a mental
technically
thing?
fourth team because he was with the Steelers at the beginning, or at least at the beginning of like the NFL season. Got traded to Carolina,
Yeah.
then traded to the Ravens. Ravens, we cut him because like you're complaining about like playtime and like touches, like
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, that's just
Go kick,
it's
go
a
kick,
weird.
go kick rocks. We run the ball.
yeah.
Literally, you have Derek
Throw it to
Henry.
Bateman.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, now, but because he's actually healthy. Let's see. We mentioned Russell Wilson. So AJ Brown. This is just kind of funny, actually. I don't even have an issue with it. I just thought it was funny. But like they pan to the sideline, AJ Brown's just sitting there reading Inner Excellence on the sideline during the game.
What is that, like a motivational book?
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of pretty much. You know,
Okay.
they're like. I just
Maybe I
thought,
should pop
I just
that
thought
out
that was
right
funny.
now, real quick.
Well, and since that happened, that book is now #1 on Amazon.
Really? Oh,
course.
wow.
Brilliant marketing move.
Right?
Yeah, no doubt. Oh, yeah, he's probably getting paid.
Should.
While also finding his inner excellence. Coaching. Let's see. Jerry Jones and the Cowboys and Mike McCarthy mutually split. But
Interesting.
Deion Sanders.
Yeah.
Those talks are heating up. Allegedly, they have already talked about it, which kind of blows my mind considering, like, what, 3 months ago we just mentioned how he
Yeah,
was
we
like,
were
oh,
talking
nope,
about it.
Nope, but like,
Yep.
there's no way, like, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And now, like, we talked about, like, what if, you know, McCarthy's last year, he's gone, and what if Dion? And then we're all just like, nah. And now it's, I don't know.
Yeah,
now
it
it could
could-
possibly
it could
be,
happen.
if Jerry Jones isn't going to coach a team, it could be prime time. Like, I don't know.
I could see it.
I don't,
Especially with Shador going to the draft. But that'd be interesting. Like, what if he goes to the Giants? Then he's got to play against his kid twice a year.
maybe that's planned. Maybe they want that. I don't know.
That'd be dope.
I don't know.
That'd be weird scheming up against your kid.
Right.
No, you would think. Mike Vrabel, new HC of the Patriots. We knew that. We called that here at Banter with the boys.
that makes my head hurt.
First, I feel bad for Mayo.
Yeah.
To be honest, like it was
Yeah.
weird, and we were talking about it a little bit, just how he was he given a real chance. You think, or do you think this was literally the plan
No,
potentially? the
I
whole
don't
time?
think he was given a real chance. What I understand is that at somewhere in Mayo's contract was a guarantee that he was going to become the next head coach, and in some legal, non-legal language or whatever.
after
But-
Belichick.
yeah, after Belichick,
What?
because like
This is the first time I'm hearing
because
this.
Kraft wanted to keep Mayo from
Around.
keep Mayo with the Patriots.
With the organization, sure.
Yeah, he didn't want to lose him. So how do I do that? And I have to like do something that guarantees or ensures he's going to want to stay. So we're going to get Belichick to, I don't know, tinfoil hat.
Yeah.
Get Belichick to step down. We're going to now put Mayo in place, and then all of a sudden, last year it's like
Vrabel doesn't get hired.
yeah, like, oh my God.
Yeah.
No, it's like if Vrabel gets canned, he's now there. Oh, I have this legal
Yeah.
or whatever
Your
obligation to Mayo.
internship.
But I really want Vrabel now.
Do you think
So-
they contacted Vrabel at all then? Like, hey, if you just go find a job for like 12 months,
Yeah,
we got
no,
you. We
that's-
got you next season, which would be really messed up though.
Probably.
for Mayo. Like,
Probably, but nobody's going to admit it.
give me that documentary. I gotta
yeah.
see it.
Or did they?
Tinfoil hat, everybody. Tinfoil hat.
Yeah, right,
Or
right.
did they get rid of him because they won that game against the Bills?
Oh.
Or that. I mean,
I thought they were
hey,
gonna
man.
tank it. I would have like. We
Most people did.
Yeah, we didn't need that game. That was lost that pick. So yeah.
Lost his job, too.
The only other coaching change at the moment, well, there's one more. Falcons fire their DC Jimmy Lake, and then the Browns just upgraded somebody to be their OC, and I missed who it was. I can't remember, but I think it was somebody within the organization. So there is that. Sorry, new Browns OC, for not knowing your name and putting it in here. I feel bad.
We'll do something
Just
next year.
wait,
We'll
Jake's-
remember it.
All right.
Yeah, I'm I'm too slow on this. I don't got.
No dice. Anyway,
Keep going.
Congrats on the job, I guess. With that, Kev, let's go into our divisional weekend preview and picks.
We're back.
Preview and picks. You know, I felt very confident that we would be talking about the Vikings right now. And we're not, so don't even mention them.
Well, they would have won.
Unbelievable. If only. If only.
I'm picking them anyway.
Yeah. Well, to start here, I don't think any of these games are easy picks, by the way. But to start, this one's pretty tough. Number 4, Houston Texans traveling to the Kansas City Chiefs. D'Angelo, why don't you start it off? Do you want to know what everybody else has picked so far before?
No, I want to hear a raw take out of.
You want to hear a raw take? Do I share anybody's? I mean, I see them, so it's kind of.
Don't share them. Don't share them
Until you guys are done?
Yeah.
Until everybody's done? All right.
Yeah. I'm definitely going to go with Chiefs. I mean, they're vets. They've been in this position numerous of times. They didn't play at everybody. Patty, it's hard to beat them. You got to play at 150% to beat that guy, no matter who they got injured or whatever it is. He finds a way to win, injured or not, down 10 or not, doesn't matter. He's going to try to win the game. CJ, he's too inconsistent right now for me to put faith in him to beat the Chiefs.
Too inconsistent. Did you watch last week's game?
Yeah, did you watch 2 weeks ago when they got blown out the water?
That's why I chose Chargers. But anyway.
Yeah, no, exactly. So, yeah. They even put no points on the board, man.
Stats matter.
But I don't know. For me, if I'm the Chiefs, I'm absolutely trying to stop Nico Collins. He's hot.
X factor for you is Nico Collins?
Yeah, I honestly think he's a top 10 wideout, man, dude. He's a stud.
Totally agree with that.
All right.
You saw what?
I totally agree with that.
Yeah. I mean, dude, he's great route runner. His hands are phenomenal. He has I feel like he has that dog in him where you can't, like, you really got to try to stop him. And he's going to do the above and beyond. Like, this dude's averaging what? He was the number one receiver in the league before he got injured in yards, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think so, about week 3.
Yep, it was, a couple weeks in. He was out for a while, though. But I definitely think, he's definitely
he's over a
stud.
1,000-yard receiver.
Yeah.
You know, he's 22nd right now, but yeah, he was out for a number of weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, he was at the top
Yep, he was facing a lot of injuries. But yeah, I mean, this one's definitely going to be battle of the quarterbacks. And if I'm going with
Do you think it's under the spread of 8.5?
I honestly think they might do a sneaky, like, backdoor cover, like be down like 7.
So
I mean, like 14 and score the last touchdown.
Cover. Not a competitive.
Yeah, no, not a competitive.
All right. I got
So
you.
KC by 2 scores then.
Yeah, give or take.
Right.
Like, the Texans score within the last 2 minutes. Try to
Just
get
to
the ball
make
back.
it look a little
a
better.
little closer.
It ends up looking
little backdoor
better,
cover.
but it really wasn't.
Yeah.
All right,
exactly.
all right.
But that defense, that D line is definitely playing stellar.
If they play like that again,
it's gonna
this
get
week,
scary.
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like the Texans are a bit inconsistent, so I don't want to think they're gonna play like they did last week against these Super Bowl champs. But I mean, you never know, dude. Dudes are hungry. It's the playoffs. Anything can happen. But I would definitely lean towards the Chiefs this game.
D'Angelo going Chiefs.
Yeah, Tyler. So which way are you leaning here? Are you leaning the opposite way?
I'm going Texans. Yeah, I think this is when the Chiefs fall. I don't think the Chiefs has been dominant at all this season. I think this is like a momentum thing for Houston, right? Chiefs have been off now for a week. They sat their starters. Right. They sat their starters last week of the season, so now it's been a little bit. Yeah, they've been practicing, obvious.
Oh, rusty.
But like,
rusty.
Yeah. I mean, Travis Kelce said he feels like he's 22 again.
Come on, Travis.
Isn't that a Taylor Swift album?
How would you know that?
I have no idea.
But if I'm Houston, you got to come out and score right away. Like, you can't dilly-dally with Pat Magic back there. Like, seriously. So if given the opportunity, Houston needs to go up like 14-0 early and then hopefully not look back. That's my thing. I don't know. Kansas City's clawed their way into every single game this year.
Exactly.
And they're going for a three-peat.
Yeah.
How many touches? Arguably a dynasty right now.
How many touches do you think Mixon's going to have?
That's a good question.
Plus or minus 1.5.
Right? At this rate, he's not getting the ball over 10 times. There's no way.
You don't think
If you want to win, you're not.
He has to get it over 10 times.
Oh, I don't. I think if you want to beat the Chiefs, you gotta pass it, man. You gotta pass it.
Well, yes, but I disagree.
Under 10?
How many carries he had last week? Like
16.
Stand by.
I got
I know, I
it.
just totally made that
No,
up. but
Mixon
something like a good
had
number.
25 carries.
he did.
Yeah.
For 106 yards.
What? Okay, I think I'd turn off that game after halftime, but
Okay.
yeah, I didn't.
So you want to
I didn't feel
recanter
like-
your take? You want to take the Texans now?
No, not a chance. No,
Yeah, he's flipping.
No.
He's flipping.
Yeah, no, definitely not flipping.
Jacob,
but-
which way are you going over there?
All right, so there's a bunch of things that we've already touched base on. I'll try and make it quick. I'm concerned about whether or not the Chiefs' offense is going to have any rust from 2 weeks off.
Yes, it will.
We've learned that rust happens with rest.
Yeah,
Like
for sure.
historically, it's
Just
going
like
to be
the
a thing.
Lions.
I'm concerned about the consistency of the Texans' offense. They were slow to get going against the Chargers. Like the first 5 possessions were like what? Fumble, punt, interception, punt, right? And there's a whole bunch of nothing. I believe, though, the Texans' D has the moxie to hang around with the Chiefs' offense.
They do.
Keep it close. But that offense has to show up at some point. They got to get it going, because if they don't, then the defense isn't going to be able to hold up forever. And they have to keep CJ Stroud up. That means Joe Mixon's got to run a lot, and he's got to run angry, which he has been doing. That said, Mahomes and his wife just had a kid, so it's going to be the Chiefs.
I'm sitting on the edge of my chair. Which way are you going?
I know. I was like, I know. He's explaining it. I'm like, oh, Chiefs for sure.
And then I'm like, no, maybe
he's going
Texans.
Texans.
Right.
Oh, Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Yeah, like,
Drum roll.
yeah, that was awesome. I love it. Great take. Great take.
Did you pick a team?
Yeah, he did Chiefs.
I think he picked
Because
the kid.
Mahomes is having a
He said Patty
they
Mahomes
just had a
kid.
kid.
Yeah, they just had a
All
kid.
right, I gotcha. I really want to take the Texans here, but I just think the at home
Yeah, it's
is
gonna
going
be
to be the
hard, dude.
difference. I think with Chris Jones sitting for a couple weeks, he's actually needed the rest.
It's going to help him.
And so I think that he's going to affect the Joe Mixon difference maker. And I don't think CJ Stroud is going to be playoff ready yet in that atmosphere. So I think he's going to throw a couple picks.
Dang it, I just had a really good question and then I distracted myself. Darn it. Oh, so do you think the week of this week of rest, do you think it benefits defense more than offense?
I think
Like player wise, like do you think it benefits defensive players over offensive players?
I
Like,
do.
I feel like
Defense for
offense you
sure.
kind of get out of a rhythm
Defense
if
for
you're
sure.
not, you know what I mean? But defense, you're like, well, let's just heal my body so I can just fly around. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
exactly. Yeah,
So
I don't know. At this point in the season, I think everything's just they've done it so many times that
yeah.
it's just a rhythm thing. And as long as their body's healthy and they know they're confident of making that cut, they're like, oh, that doesn't hurt anymore. I think that's what really matters in
Yeah.
the game. Especially then the Chiefs are more of a veteran team too, so the rest is going to help them the most.
Yeah.
Right. Bring him back to 22 years old.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some obscene, Andy Reid stat of how many wins versus losses he has coming out of a bye week too. So
Exactly.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Not
I'm
many
sure.
losses.
yeah,
Let's see. The only other people at the moment to take Texans, I think we're only missing picks from Graham and Cody. Let's see.
Get on it, boys.
Ben is taking the Texans. Trey is taking the Texans, and then me, and everybody else is on the Chiefs bandwagon.
my heart says Texans, but my brain says Chiefs.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, you got to listen to your heart, man.
I did last week, and I was 5-1.
Yeah, I know, and our hearts are shattered. this week. Commanders at Lions. D'Angelo is last.
Yep.
Rob.
I honestly think.
No, you're last.
You're last.
You're last.
Oh, I didn't hear that part.
He's gonna talk.
No, I'm kidding.
No, he's choosing not to hear. Rob.
I am going Lions. I think Detroit's gonna come out fast, and I think just the style of defense that Detroit plays, it'll be interesting to see how Daniels reacts in that scenario, in that environment. He does. I know all year he's been pretty cool, calm, and collect, but I just think that offense, I don't think they're going to be able to outscore him. So I
Yeah.
just think that the Lions are just going to get in a shootout. I think they're going to end up still like squeezing out a 10-point win.
Okay.
I agree.
Fair enough. Jake, Commanders at Lions.
This is this is gonna be a sneaky good game. I think it's gonna rival Ravens Bills as far as excitement. Lions are gonna continue to play physical offense and defense, which is what they always do. David Montgomery's most likely going to be back. That's going to be crucial for continuing to play physical, which I don't think the Commanders' defense can stick with. And that Lions' defense is fast too. Anzalone's back. Really, really important for them. It's Lions, unfortunately.
Yeah, fair enough. Like, I don't really have anything to lose, so I really want to go Commanders here. But like, the more I think,
great football
like,
mind.
the more we're gonna go for it. That's the Dan Campbell mentality.
Yeah.
But he's just smart about it. I don't know, man. I really want to say like the Commanders' offense is going to give the Lions' defense some trouble. Just too many injuries defensively for the Lions. Jaden Daniels is still kind of a wild card, even though the Lions know what they're probably going to get out of him.
Yeah.
And you're coming into it's going to be loud in there. And
Yeah.
it's going to be a tough place to play.
Vegas says this is the biggest spread of all 4 games.
Yeah, I bet.
It is.
If that helps with your decision.
No, it doesn't. And David Montgomery being back is huge, though. Like, I like that dual threat is ridiculous. Laporta, Amon-Ra, I gotta go with the Lions at home. It's just tough, man. It's gonna be a tough place to win. Now, if the Rams beat the Eagles, see me next week, because I think that's somebody that I think the Lions would rather play the Eagles than the Rams right now.
Ooh, Stafford
100%.
back
for
in
sure.
Detroit.
I think
That would be insane.
I
Tickets
didn't
sold
even
out.
think about that yet.
Yep,
But
tickets sold out.
yeah,
baby.
so I gotta go Lions. D'Angelo, we could skip you if you want.
All right. You guys already know what I'm gonna say.
Yeah, Jaden Daniels,
Yeah.
big Jaden Daniels fan.
No Lions by far. I honestly think the Commanders could
Lions
cover that
by
spread.
far.
I definitely think it's gonna be a 1 touchdown game.
Okay.
It comes down to it. But yeah, it's all about if the Commanders come out hot. If they let the Lions have that momentum first quarter,
It's done.
it's over with.
It's
you're
done.
you're going to get wrecked by 20, 30. It's going to get to that point because, especially with Dan, that head coach, dude, he's trying to just drill teams at this point.
Well,
make a statement.
I saw a meme, like some that said, like, it's going to be a fun coaching matchup, Dan Campbell versus Quinn, and they both go for it on 4th down, and it's going to be a Madden game pretty much is what they said.
Right.
No field goals, no
field
punts,
goals,
going
yeah.
for it on 4th and 10
Exactly.
and under, like every time.
Exciting.
So,
yeah.
it's going to be a ridiculous game. It'll be fun. The environment will be electric,
Yeah,
no doubt.
9.5's the spread, just FYI.
Yeah.
Really?
Throw that out there.
It might drop, I think, towards the end of the week.
You think
Probably
so?
get to
Yeah, I
like
can see
8.
the money moving
maybe.
towards to cover.
Yeah, to the cover
Yeah.
for sure. Not the away from the
enough.
money line.
Game three. LA Rams traveling to the Philadelphia Eagles. I haven't started yet, have I?
No, you haven't.
Yeah, okay. I'll start with this one.
Carry the one. Judges ruling. Eagles by 45. He
they
did
play
a lot of
last week? Oh, that was the
pre-prep for
Packer
this
game.
show.
Packer
Obviously, he's just ready to
Yeah.
go. Do we need to go to somebody else here?
It's just tough. Like, I gotta go Rams. And I think it's because, like, if Jordan Love played a better game, that game's different last week. I think he was the biggest factor. So if Matt Stafford can come in and just take a couple chances down the field, get Kupp more involved. He wasn't very involved in the Vikings game. He had that one deep ball,
Yeah,
but he
the
wasn't very
comeback, yeah.
involved.
Especially
if
the first
If Higbee can come back, which he's set to possibly come back, that'd be big for them too.
They need him.
Because he was destroying the Vikings
Eating
early.
us up.
5
Yeah, he
receptions,
was.
58 yards to start
Yeah.
the game, I think it was. So, like, just destroying him. Kyron Williams is a hard, tough runner.
Yes.
And that defense is fast. So, I don't know. I think it's going to be a really close game, though. I think it could be like 17-14 type of game. But yeah, I'm taking Rams, but I think it's going to be a low scoring battle. And like, who knows? It could be cold in Philly. I don't know what the weather's looking
about
like.
30 degrees
Yeah. So
on Sunday.
I think it's just going to be, it's going to be a finesse battle though. It's not like hard hitting. I think I don't think it'll be like as hard hitting as other games we'll see this week. I think it'll be more finesse.
So you've watched 0 Eagles games so far.
Yeah, I was
this year.
like, did you not see?
This game though. I think this one. I don't know.
I mean, between their fans and their players, they come at you pretty hard.
I'm not saying their fans are going to be finesse. They'll let you know. Their fans are all gas and
I
brakes.
found a way to sneak that in there real quick.
Right.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
If you don't know what we're talking about, just go look up Eagles fan, Packer fan. You'll see enough.
You'll see it.
You'll see enough. Who wants to be next?
I'll go next just real quick. This is going to be Rob's blowout of the week here. I think the Eagles are just going to come out and dominate them.
Rob's blowout of the week.
I
Right after I tried to give such a good take on the Rams. I attempted.
No, I'm going opposite. I think this is where the Rams really fail. I think the Eagles corners can cover with Puka and Cooper. And if Higbee's not back, that's definitely another L on that side. I think the Eagles defense will just bring a whole different pressure to even rushing just 4, which the Vikings really couldn't do. And then the backside, they'll be able to cover versus our older, got to play more of a palm style defense, not man to man, which I think the Eagles can. Then offensively, that's Barkley.
Under 100 yards this week.
Well, good for you losing that bet. So, yeah, we're going big on the
That
Eagles.
fails all the time.
Hey, I did finish last place in the regular season standings, so I'm just here to coordinate.
So-
Jake, are you done?
Yeah,
Is that enough? No, I'm just kidding.
Wow.
I'm just kidding.
Oh man.
Boasting around, huh?
Just threw his take in the garbage.
Rob's points are really good. The Eagles secondary is going to be able to cover the Ravens, the Rams wide receivers, Puka and Cooper. The Eagles front 4 is going to be able to put pressure on Stafford that the Vikings unfortunately weren't able to do. That Eagles defense is just physical. They're gonna punch him in the mouth, and it's gonna be Eagles. And Saquon's gonna go over 100. Yeah.
Maybe in the air. Catching.
All purpose?
Yeah. Oh, easily.
Okay, all purpose. He's over 100. I'm talking rushing. He's not going over 100.
the
All
first
purpose, that's a given for him. It's a given for him.
Wait, do we not remember what the Eagles did to the Rams in the regular season
Yeah, that was,
in LA?
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
violent.
Don't worry about it.
Tyler missed that.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Which way are you gonna go?
Oh, Eagles for sure. That defense is gonna be too much for Matt. I mean, definitely, he's a vet, so you really can't count him out in that aspect. But it's too many dogs on that Eagles defensive line and the secondary. You got some young cats, Blankenship, Najee. You got a vet, Slay. So it's like, yeah, they got the perfect matchup they wanted as far as like the secondary on the wideouts. So they definitely get an A on that, and then the D line is just phenomenal. So yeah, I definitely think they win it by at least 10 points, give or take.
At least 10. Give or
least
take 10.
Yeah,
At least 10, give or take 10.
Yeah, the spread is like at 5.
6.
I think it was,
or
was
is
at
it-
6.
Well,
Yeah.
6.
Yeah, it's at 6.
Yeah.
Minus 5.5. Whatever. Round it
Close.
up.
17.
and grenades.
Take the
Okay.
10 plus money.
Okay.
Gotcha.
All right. Well, last but not least, Ravens at Bills. So that means Jake's last. Actually, you know what? But screw it. I
Yeah,
mean,
let's get his hot takes right away.
yeah.
Get it out the way.
Ravens at Bills. Game of the week for us. I mean, I would say.
I mean, he won't delay as long as you did to make a pick.
Yeah, that's right. I actually got notes here.
Yeah, that's fine. That's why mine are hot takes. I don't write them down and steal them from other people. I'm just kidding.
First things first, it's gonna be your typical AFC North weather. Right now, we're forecasted at 20 degrees, windy, and a chance of snow showers.
Oh, my.
Oh my is right.
And it's in Buffalo.
So yeah, and it's
of
in
course.
Buffalo. Is perfect. So it's perfect weather for what the Ravens are built for: hard, physical run game. Bills can run the ball too, but they're not as physical. So it's going to be a line of scrimmage battle. Who's going to win that on both sides? And it, to me, favors the Ravens. Low scoring, physical game. I'm going to take Ravens. And even though we've got all of this hype about MVP versus MVP just because of the weather, neither one's going to have a giant like blockbuster stat line, and it's just going to come down to who doesn't make a mistake. And I think Lamar is got everything going for him right now.
He's dialed.
He does.
He's
set
dialed
to
in.
go.
Yep.
I agree.
Ravens.
Fair enough.
If it was any surprise.
It's really not.
I was kind of on the fence for a second.
Anybody else want to go first? Otherwise, I'll just take the Ravens. Because I think their offense is just too much. I think they're just too much. I really wanted to go Bills just because I felt like they're finally ready to take that step. But honestly, these last few weeks, that Ravens offense is almost just unstoppable.
Yeah.
And watching Lamar in the pocket last week and how comfortable he is. Like you said, if it's going to be snowy weather, you got to be super comfortable this week. Not saying Josh Allen wouldn't be, because it seems to snow there every other week right now. So they're used to it as well. But like you said, I like the Derrick Henry over James Cook kind of idea. I think the battle in the trenches will be similar in this game. But yeah, I think the Ravens just edge them out. It'll be a Derrick Henry show. For sure.
I agree.
You agree? All right. Tell us why you agree more.
Oh, I will.
I agree
guess
with what
that-
he said about Derrick Henry being. Is that what you did in school? Well, I agree with
I think now that the Ravens have that versatility with Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson, that's the dual threat in the run game itself. So like you said, you can give Lamar 15 carries and still give Derrick 25.
But should you give Lamar 15 carries? So?
If I need to, yeah, I'm doing it for sure. I mean, it's going to be cold, so it's like the passing is going to be not in favor in a sense. Even though I think with Bateman, I feel like nobody can confidently guard him in the Bills secondary. That dude, he's been playing lights out too. I feel like
He's in
As of late.
he's like slimy. Like he's not the fastest, but he can get open.
He's got a good route. He can run good routes.
Yeah, exactly. So, and he has good hands, I would say too. But it's definitely gonna be a showdown.
Gotta
But
go
I'm
Ravens.
leaning towards the Ravens. Like Lamar, he's hard to stop right now. The whole offense is hard to stop. Like Allen can only do so much, and Cook too, with him being less physical, especially against the Ravens defense right now. So, yeah, I think Ravens thug it out, win by 3 or more.
By 3 or more.
3 or more. Well, what a blowout. I'm actually going to circle the wagons on this one. I just think it's going to be a goofy game. I know the Ravens have been hot.
Especially if there's weather.
And the weather, I just think it's going to be a goofy game. And I think just crowd noise a little bit and just the conditions. It's going to be a weird bounce somewhere, a weird tip, and the Bills are going to squeak one out. That's just how it is. The spread's at 1 for the Ravens. They've already played one time this year. The Ravens came out 35-10 in Baltimore earlier in the season. So probably teams are a little bit different now. But something goofy is going to be it. On paper, I would say the Ravens are going to win, but I think some goofy bounces are going to happen.
Just,
And
yeah,
the
with
Bills,
everything involved.
The Bills are going to circle the wagons and then end up in KC.
Okay.
For round 4 or whatever between Josh Allen and Pat Mahomes in the playoffs. I don't know. I'm ready for another Lamar Jackson versus Pat Mahomes matchup.
It's a win-win
like that.
scenario. in
But
my
if we're
book.
gonna go by my picks, it'll be Lamar Jackson versus CJ Stroud.
so
So
you don't
I'll
really
take
want
that.
to yeah.
yeah, I bet you will. Yeah, because the Ravens would stomp the.
Yeah, no, they would.
I think.
they would,
I think that.
pounce
Yeah,
on
no,
them.
I won't even do the hypotheticals. But yeah, the Ravens would stomp the Texans, and I think the Bills would too. I think the Texans and Chiefs is just a better matchup for the Texans right now, personally. But anyway, wow, that's it.
It's a good collection of games. It'll be exciting, and even next week's matchups, all of them could be elite with all elite quarterbacks in them.
yeah,
So
I agree.
I mean, that's pretty much who's left is all.
And I hate that we always do talk about the quarterbacks, all the time. But at the same time, it's just like that's the most important position, especially when you get to the playoffs.
It is.
Because if they don't make the right move, what are you going to do? We saw it. Sam Darnold, Jordan Love. We so I don't know.
But we also saw running backs
Oh, running backs
have a significant impact.
They came back this year.
They came back in a big way this year.
Is it almost like the NFL is like kind of caught up to the passing game where they've gone so fast you know, on the defensive side, you know, the linebackers are almost like safeties now.
Yeah.
You know, that a good running back in establishing the run against smaller defenses on the back end
That's a good point.
can be effective now, you know.
Yeah.
And everything in the NFL is always trends. They go one way, they go spread.
It's just
they
weird
go,
how the
you know.
game changes like that.
You
Like
know?
the NBA with
I know.
3-pointers. Are they eventually going to go back to shooting a jumper, or is it all going to be, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
Like the game's just changed. So,
So,
no, that's a good point. You know, how high does Genty go? You know, at this point, how high is you know, a running back valued in the draft coming into this year after the Lions took Gibbs, you know, in the first round?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
I don't know if the value in the draft will be back quite yet.
they have him going like, we're going on a
Mid-20s, right?
tangent, but
Yeah.
yeah, they have him going like late teens, mid-20s, somewhere in there. Or I've seen as
Genty?
early as
Genty,
mid
Really?
I could see him going top 10.
Ooh,
Oh, top 10.
What?
even. Holy crap.
We'll talk about that
But
on
that's-
our draft show in a
But
couple
yeah,
weeks.
yeah,
Oh,
which
wow.
we're going to have. Yeah. So
Top 10.
hopefully it'll be a
good take.
Are we going to try to do that mobile one where they can like hop in the video?
live,
type deal?
yeah.
We're
Yeah.
going to try so you guys can like hop in, you know.
Oh, cool.
Heck yeah.
yeah. So
Get everybody, anyone that's got their couple-minute
couple of draft takes.
Yeah.
But-
Your team wants.
With that, obviously, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe wherever you listen to the Banter, whether that's YouTube, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts. And we'll see you next week to talk about the conference championships.
Score the bowl next year.
Stay safe, LA.
Don't forget to follow, like, and subscribe. Tune in next time for more Banter with the boys.